thank you so much for joining us. I am Jeanette McMahon with Be Well and Thrive. And as you know, I'm here mostly every week where I get and have the opportunity to interview incredible practitioners, therapists, coaches that are all on the mission to help us thrive. So I'm really excited to be here today with Hannah. She is wonderful, and has so many incredible things that she does that I'm not even going to butcher it. I'm just going to let her tell us what she does. So Hannah, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
I'm excited.
Thank you.
So I am I am a massage therapist and nutritional therapy practitioner here in downtown Castle Rock. And I also have training in physical therapy. I was a PTA still am for 5 years now. And then I've been massaging for a decade now, with experience in Reiki and prenatal massage and sports and lots of injury, all sorts of things. So kind of on a mission to do it all and address the whole body head to toe.
I love that. I love that holistic piece, and that's definitely a theme that I find in people that I get to talk to in this realm. Is that piece of that holistic piece, and I think that people are really seeing that we're not just a single symptom, that we really, our bodies are incredible, and there's lots going on.
It's really amazing.
Yeah. So what got you? I always love to ask and hear and oh my gosh, what's your dog's name again?
Luna.
So Hannah has this adorable dog, Luna. I know you guys can't see, but she's so sweet. She's here.
She's got a peanut butter jar to keep her busy.
She's so cute. And I have to mention, we're in Hannah's beautiful space here today with this. I love this background. I think that this is a great place to do these interviews here.
We've got a really cozy space here too, which makes it like home. So it's nice to be here.
Yeah, it is a great space. Yeah.
What got me into it is
I
I am so fortunate that I've known what I wanted to do since I was a kiddo. It sounds more dramatic than it really was, but I was hit by a car when I was 12. And me and my friend Haley, actually. So shout out Haley. We were crutch buddies for a while. But through that was my first time in physical therapy. And through that experience, I always loved science and health and helping people. And actually working with my PT and feeling like I was heard and that they were there for me throughout the entire session rather than just a 15-minute, them talking at me kind of thing. It was a conversation, and it was working towards my goals and what was important to me, even at 12 years old. Yeah. And so I kind of geared myself up for PT from there and was a very pragmatic little child and thought, well, we'll need something else too to get me through school and to set me apart. And that's how I found massage. And I've fallen in love with that. It's such a unique and meaningful way to connect with people and to help them heal in all sorts of ways. And then most recently was my nutrition program. And that was more just my own, I love food. But it further affirms how food is medicine, and how can we change our diet and improve it to help us through injuries, through anxiety, through just managing the everyday stress. We can look to food to help us with that. Yeah. And so it's further, everything is connected, and it all just has made sense. Yeah. But I've been kind of geared for this since I was a little kid. Yeah. So I truly feel like this is what I'm meant to do, and it's such a gift to me as much as it is to hopefully the people that get to receive it.
Yeah. That's incredible. And I always love hearing why people do what you do. So thank you for sharing that, because I always say there's always such a beautiful story that it's not like, well, I don't know, I just picked a random thing off a hat or something, but it comes from a place often of something that someone has experienced, and through this desire of this is what I experienced, and I want to provide this for other people, which I think is really beautiful. So that's really cool. Yeah, that's really neat. And oh my gosh, nutrition. If you watched last week's interview, when was it? Just a few days ago, actually. Definitely worth checking out. But small you out there, if you haven't watched it. nutrition's a huge passion of mine too, and as medicine and how it's like what we feed ourselves is just so important. So as you're working with people's bodies, because we're not separate, I can just totally, that's such a beautiful connection and marriage of all of those things that are just so necessary.
And I love educating people on the ways that our body tries to communicate those internal dysfunctions that can be addressed with food. So like IT band pain, pretty much everybody has some tenderness along the sides of their thighs, and that can actually correlate to your large intestine. So it's like if you were to cut it down the center and kind of flop it down. So if you're tender more towards the knee, that could indicate something going on up at the top of your large intestine here. So, things like that come up in a massage session, and you can educate and tell them. But again, it's just so beautiful to see how our body communicates when it needs nourishment.
Yes. Oh, that's beautiful. That is something I truly can get so passionate about, because I'm going to try and hold it back because of so much of how our medical system is today. And I don't mean to bash it, but there's just such this, it's not like we've gotten away from that of listening to our body. It's just, here's a symptom, take something to mask it. Like, no, this symptom is telling us something. Like our body is saying, hey, something's out of whack here. And like from the mental health perspective, I said this last week, but kind of, I always say like Prozac or depression is not a Prozac deficiency, right? Like that's our body's message telling us something here is off. So instead of, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I love that you bring that up, and it's so beneficial for your clients in that capacity.
Well, it's nice to know too that self-care can feel good.
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, eating nourishing, wholesome foods is delicious for one. And then, through self-care, we can, in any sort of realm, whether that's massage or chiropractic, acupuncture, any of this, it's stimulating all of these organs so that they can take that nourishment and use it better too. It's kind of fun. It's a good thing that taking care of ourselves feels good rather than taking some pill that gives us crazy side effects.
Right, absolutely. But healing is possible. Yes, that our bodies, So the premise of all this is that we're designed and created to thrive. Yeah. We truly are. We don't have to just like this symptom and all that. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Why we do this. But it makes me so fun. Every time I get to talk with people, I'm like, yes.
I know, right? You get it.
This is how. Here's the 3 options. Here's the 3 services of how we can help you with this. So I'm curious with your massage piece. What? Because sure everyone out here has had a massage. And then
I
there's
hope so.
There's so many different types, right? Like I know, like I kind of like, man, I love massage for the relaxation piece. Mm-hmm. But like I know that it's truly a therapy. So what would you say for your and there's just like everyone out there, right? We all bring something. What we bring, like you as a massage therapist, is different than what so-and-so is going to bring a massage therapist, because what you offer is something that only you can offer. So I guess my question is, what would you, in your type of massage or your style or whatever you would say, like, I don't know, what type of massage you do and who is best to come see you?
Well, that's a good question. Yeah. That's a pretty broad spectrum there. Yeah. So, injury management is kind of my bread and butter.
Sure.
I really love going after things. But my treatment style tends to be a marriage of myofascial release, deep tissue. I'll add in some dynamic movements to it, which kind of is really fun because it gives you some ownership of how your body moves and feels. So that looks a little more active, a little more sports sometimes. And then everybody gets a dose of Reiki, which is just a beautiful therapy too that I love to share with people, whether they realize they're getting it or not. Sure. Because it is that energy exchange, but it's I want people to feel when they come to see me, they are loved, they are safe, they are, a lot of the time, sometimes people come to the table with insecurities and they're not feeling great about themselves or about their life. So this is a space where all of those worries and all of those concerns can be gone.
Yeah.
And so whatever you come with, whether it's just need to relax or you just had surgery and need to move some lymph fluid through, I want to meet you where you're at here on the table and let you know that you're safe. That this is a space of healing.
Sure.
And I mean, I'm fortunate that I've worked with a very broad range of people. With my experience in orthopedic physical therapy and geriatric physical therapy. I've massaged everything from a 5-month-old baby to 100, I think is my oldest.
Wow.
So kind of bring it on. Whatever you got on this, you're good.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Well, good. Well, so, and that piece obviously is local. You gotta be local to get that massage. For the nutritional piece, is that something like you do online? So what do you do with that?
Yeah. So nutrition, there can be a hands-on component of it too, which again I love to tie the body work into it, and just it's a really nice way to learn how your body communicates to you too. There are these reflex points that you can check in on yourself of like, oh, my gallbladder needs some love. It's tender. But can totally do nutrition remotely. I'm a pretty good cheerleader. And I really enjoy those conversations because I'll give you the foundations, and if we have specific issues we're working on, we'll address those as far as nutritional things. But I love diving into the emotional component of it too, and that's really where the healing happens. And the more knowledge we have, the better off we do. And sometimes that knowledge is just knowledge of self, and what are your weaknesses, and what are your pains and traumas that show up on your plate.
Absolutely.
Or show up in your shoulder.
Sure, right, because everything manifests in our bodies.
It sure does.
Absolutely. No, that's awesome.
So, working with me with nutrition tends to kind of, it spans everything too. I'll teach you how to give a belly rub and do some meditation as well as how to put together a well-balanced meal.
That's great. That's awesome. See what I'm saying? She offers a lot of things. No, that's awesome. That's really cool. And again, I love the whole person perspective because, we are whole people.
That's been one of my big, again, not to bash our whole medical system, but that's a big frustration. And I think for a lot of people, and oh my gosh, I saw it so much in PT of, here is your diagnosis. So you are no longer a whole person, you are a right shoulder. And because of insurance and billing, that's kind of what we're limited to, where, there's so much more to the picture there.
It's so true. It's so true. Absolutely. Well, I could talk about that for a long time.
Everyone's got that story too of how they've been kind of ignored.
Sure. Well, I'm grateful to say that's not, my passion has been out of wait, you can have more. You can feel better than this, and so super passionate about sharing that for sure. I'm curious when you, I always ask everyone, what does, again, my practice is Be Well and Thrive, built on the premise that we're all designed and created to thrive. And so, but thriving means different things for each person. So I'm curious, when you hear that word thrive, what does that mean to you? Some people answer that personally. Some people answer it more within the context of what they offer. So however you want to go with that, when the word thrive comes to mind,
Well, again, I'm so fortunate that all of my passions and it's become my career, and I really get to feel like my full self when I show up to this space. So thriving is kind of the embodiment of, good movement that's not, it's not like crazy CrossFit kind of thing, not to bash CrossFit, but it's mindful, intentional movement that does well for your body and isn't so depleting. I love to hike. I love to be outdoors and playing with Luna. And so being able to do that and do it well and without pain is thriving. And to be fueling myself well and to have a good relationship with that. I actually have, we all have our personal stories, and I had some disordered eating in my past, and it still comes up every now and then. And those are the moments where I don't feel like I'm thriving. But when I'm truly thriving, food is a gift, and it's a beautiful energy exchange, and it's a gift. And so being in that space of feeling like I'm really caring for myself in all aspects, and that I am loving that process and loving the thing that I'm caring for. And that's what I try and teach people here too, of this is a safe space, and your body is beautiful, and doing what you can to care for it is thriving.
It's beautiful. I love it. I keep thinking, like, every week when I do this, like, I want to like pull out the snippets of like when people answer that question and just have like a combination of just all of that. It's just I love everyone's answers. It's unique, but it all kind of sort of comes down to this like sort of a similar piece of like
how do you love yourself?
Yeah, absolutely, and feeling good in the process.
Absolutely.
That's really cool. So I always like to ask too, like what do you do that helps people thrive, which is super clear. Like you already talked about that. Is there anything else you would say to how what you offer your clients, like how that helps people thrive? And if there's something else, you said it all. Like I honestly should just throw out this question because I feel like by the time we get to this point, like we've already answered it. But
well, I mean, I'm glad that you asked because, I don't always get it's not always an open conversation with people. Sometimes they come in and just like, oh yeah, this hurts. And they want to get on the table and zone out. But, I do want to educate them more on the power of setting these intentions for yourself. And, really, it's not just it's not just a treat yourself thing. It truly is caring for yourself and giving yourself love. And how will you take something like a massage and translate that to the rest of your life? We don't give ourselves that time always to just rest and to give our body thanks. So that's one thing I would really love to communicate to people of how important and good for you it is to slow down. And I mean, this is the body that we've got for the rest of our lives, and we have to take care of it and love it. And it shouldn't never be a stress.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I thank you for bringing that up. It's something that I see a lot with women that I have the honor of working with this, and I think it's cultural, but like, I mean, it's across the nation, right? Like we are such a busy culture. We are so, I mean, and there's like this badge of honor around being busy, and I'm like completely guilty of this. And one thing that being pregnant has just honestly been such a big lesson for me. Like I allow myself to just settle, and it's so true. But that piece of like what you're saying, like it's more than just a massage, but that whole piece of truly caring for your body. Like your bodies are incredible, and like to get, we would. Anyway, I could go on and on and on. So thank you for saying that. That's really cool.
And that we don't have to drive ourselves into the ground to be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. There's such this like hustle. Like you gotta like, which there's a piece, like I'm not saying like not work hard, but I think that there's this other end of this hustle nation that we're in, where it's just, it's like,
it cracks me up. I get people that they'll ask like, is it okay if I go work out right after this? And it's like, well, maybe, but have you been running around all day? Well, yeah. Then no, it's not okay.
Right.
You can stop.
Your body. Yeah, absolutely.
Because, as the science is very, very clear now that stress is killing us.
Oh, absolutely.
And we don't need to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. There is another way. We actually accomplish more when we like take care of ourselves.
Right.
Right.
we live longer. Meditating like can take 5 years, like add 5 years to your life.
Yeah.
Just sitting and thinking.
Yeah.
Or breathing. Really.
Silence. Yeah, absolutely. It's like such about breathing, right? So that kind of I love, something you mentioned too about like thanking your body. And so something I always like to ask everyone too is what is something that now we could kind of take away, like something simple or quick that like someone could do right now to help them thrive in this moment or move towards thriving in this moment.
Yeah. So I was thinking of showing you how to do a belly rub, actually.
Oh, sure.
Because I mean, it perfectly ties in everything.
Yeah.
And I love doing self-massage too, and in between sessions.
Sure.
But a belly rub is 70 to 80% of our immune system is in our gut. And, of course, all health issues are tied to the gut now, as we're finding out. So just a little stimulation to the area can be very calming. It can be very beneficial and promote all sorts of good stuff.
Cool.
All
right, let's do it.
Turn it around.
Oh, sure, whatever you need to do. Yeah, if you want to adjust it to wherever you need it to.
So how about I lay down and you can have it there?
Oh, yeah. All right. Let's see. Maybe I'll do, the lighting, so maybe I'll do this way.
Perfect.
Okay.
So have your knees bent, or you can have a pillow underneath, but knock your knees together so that your belly is nice and relaxed. And then about an inch out from your belly button, start doing small circular movements, starting on the right and moving to the left. So I get confused here clockwise and counterclockwise, but start on the right and move left. So here we're stimulating your small intestine. And then as you get down into the right hip is your ileocecal valve. And that's the point where your small intestine transitions to your large intestine. So you can see it's kind of midpoint between your hip and your belly button. So this may be an area where it's a little more tender or a little more congested. So you can spend some more time there, holding, practicing some deep breathing, whatever feels appropriate for you and your body. And then start scooping up and more towards the outside into our large intestine, which is going to circle all the way around through here and down into our rectum and that good stuff there. So same kind of things. I like to do kind of more fluffing, and then as we get to the other side, more stripping motions to really move things through.
Sure.
And then you can do some little oscillations or vibrations here at the base just to round it out. And then from there, you can practice, give yourself a little diaphragm work, coming down towards the floating ribs. Down in here is going to be some reflex points for the whole digestive system too. So if you're not sure, you can just poke along those ribs, find where it kind of sticks out. And if it's really tender here, that means that you may need some extra digestional support. So get some bone broth in you, get some celery juice, all that good stuff. But releasing the diaphragm will help just the whole movement, because as the diaphragm moves, it pushes down on your organs. So good mobility there is going to impact everything else. And then deep breathing to further stimulate your immune system and get everything nice and calmed down.
Awesome.
So I usually recommend people do that right before they go to bed. Or anytime, we hold so much emotion in our gut too. So anytime you're feeling a little anxious, give yourself a little rub. And yeah,
that's awesome.
That love flow through your belly.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So definitely give that a try. That sounds amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for being here. We will link to your website and everything in the comments below. What is that the best way for people to reach you?
Yep. Or you can, check out my website, wildmoonliving.com. You can send me an email at wildmoonwellnesstherapy@gmail.com. And then, get a hold of me.
Yay. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time. All right. Let's see.